All right, we're going to do a best of one ranked core set 2020 draft here. I want to thank my sponsor Card Kingdom for supporting this stream. You can support me by supporting Card Kingdom by going to my affiliate link down below and doing your Card Kingdom shopping through that affiliate link. And there's great reasons to go to Card Kingdom to do your Magic shopping. They have great prices, they have great shipping, they have great stock. You basically get whatever you need there. They have their ongoing inventory goal is to be able to offer one-stop shopping for any deck in Magic. That basically, if you come there and you have a deck to build and you need all the cards for it, you can just get it right from Card Kingdom. They're constantly striving to be in stock for all things at all times, and just that means they're likely to have what you need. In a handful of times they don't, you know that they're out there looking for it. And that's why their buy prices are so great. So also if you need to sell some product off to pay for your mortgage or for your next EDH deck or whatever, remember that Card Kingdom is basically second to none in average buy price. They get beat here and there by individual places on individual cards, but in the abstract, you're just always going to get the most value for your sell if you look to Card Kingdom first. And great trade credit value. Yes, you get a 30% credit bonus if you want to get store credit instead. So check them out. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Now let's see what we get from our pack. Golos again. Probably taking Golos, although kind of want to take Empyrean Eagle and just see about making White Blue Skies work. I love this card a lot. To try something new, I'd be willing to start Eagle and eschew gem value right now, but only if you all want to. Here, I'll do a quick poll. We'll do like a 15-second poll, and you get Eagle or Golos, and I'll just go with chat. I bet chat's going to not care about gems is my prediction, but we'll see. Golos can produce some fun decks too, so maybe people just want to do Golos for the funsies. Well, looks like Golos is pulling away with it at the end here. All right. Oh, really? Only 8 for Golos? Did it not? I thought there were a lot more for Golos. Or did I misspell it or something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm checking. Oh, that one didn't spell right. Huh. All right, Eagle got there. I thought Golos was pulling away with it, but we'll take Eagle. No guarantee we're going to marry this, but hey, that's a nice follow-up to a start on an Eagle, huh? Here's a Miscreant that's likely to wheel. We could end up the 17 Miscreant deck. Yeah, I just took the poll for what it said, but I don't understand why Golos didn't have higher. Is it case sensitive? Maybe so, but then why were there any lowercase Goloses? I have something turned on that's, anyway, let's just, here we are now anyway. And take this Sailor. We could take a Weaponsmith in anticipation of getting future searchables, or we could just take a Griffin Protector. The Griffin Protector might wheel, though. Part of the reason to be in blue-white is the bots are so off of white that you can get stuff late. Weaponsmith might wheel, so might the Protector. But all right, we'll focus in on the flying side of what we're doing here, but I'm tempted by the Weaponsmith and this Unsummon. Unsummon is in the mix, Marsh, but I think I want to go with a creature first. Maybe this one or this one. I'll take the Protector. I don't hate it if you went for the Smith. Wave Crasher is decent, but let's double meme it here, shall we? So there's a Moorland Inquisitor, which does fine on the ground in such decks. We also don't have to even be married to, again, white or blue. I think we're probably going to do this, though, with the Sailor and the Eagle. We can take Miscreant number 1 here, knowing that we're likely to get number 2. And then Paralysis is fine for what these decks are doing. I haven't really drafted Miscreants. I can't remember what the bots think of them, if they wheel or not. But I'm willing to pick one up here. Sleep is probably the correct pick, but I'm going to make the somewhat greedy pick, the speculative pick based on the Eagle. Yeah, I wish if I'd known for sure they would wheel, I would go. I think I like God's Willing over the Sprite here. Sprite is fine, but God's Willing saving an Eagle is just so good. At 1 mana, protecting your best stuff is just too good. Well, we can protect multiple times or grab an unsummon for some variety. I think I'd rather have a second God Willing than first unsummon. I'm going to do that. Here's another Miscreant. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. We're doing it. How many Miscreants do you wish? Inspiring Captain is not bad in these aggro skies deck. Make everybody even bigger for a turn. Probably a little better than a generic flyer when we're hoping to fill up with real flyers. So let's take Captain here. Inspired Charge, also great. Here's the Miscreant that we expected to wheel. We don't need a bunch of these. I do want one. I'm wondering, I kind of am tempted to keep going down the Miscreant path and try to pick one of these up later. Looks like our Weaponsmith did wheel, and so did the Brawler, because, come on, bots. Are you kidding me? All right, we'll take Weaponsmith now over Convolute, see what we can do on that front. Free Sea Serpent might make the deck. Hopefully not playing the Aegis, but we'll throw it in the yard, or in the board here. All right, on color, let's see an Azorius Rare Mythic. Come on. Not really. Take gems and set up a possible black splash. We got Seer. I think we all just want Seer. There's also Aerial Assault, of course, but let's just take the Seer, not look back. Be gem irresponsible. Angel, solid choice here. Here's an Inspired Charge that I hope we wheel. Although here's a Heart Piercer Bow I also hope we wheel. Here's a rare we could take for gems. Herald goes fine in this deck. But Winged Words, probably even better than Herald for what we're up to here. This is good and everything. But it's not even really, like, what's its job? Its job is to come down late and help take over a game. I'd rather kind of do that with, I'd rather win our games with Inspired Charge. I'm not into Cave in a 2-color deck even. I am so protective of my colored mana that you are hard-pressed to get me to risk running something that taps for colorless. Logan. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't talk to Andrew about it, but I heard him on stream also talking about how it's a mistake to run Caves in a 2-color deck. Yeah, it feels great when you fire that thing off. Are you remembering the times where you were staring at Swamp Caves and the red cards in your hand or whatever? Anyway, back to this pick. Yeah, I think it's Words or Herald, and I think I'm going to take Words. I think Words is actually more important for this deck than the Herald is what I'm saying. And we'll grab a Boreal Elemental here. We're best of 1, so probably not playing this, but we could take it. I guess we just take a Chaplain, gum up the ground a bit. Have yet to even come close to doing the Foot Soldier thing in any draft in the format. We could take one here, and maybe get there. but probably just want a Moment or a Raptor. We really want to play this? I don't think I want to play this. Is it ever hammer time? There was one time we thought it was hammer time because we had like all this ramp, but then we took out the hammer. Like it was never good. But Logan, Logan is making an argument for the caves. Swamp, caves, 5 great spells is your opener. Like, you can't keep those. I mean, yeah, if you have a bunch of weapons, I think that's what we had. We had a bunch of weaponsmiths too. Flyer's deck wants 1 piranhas. Yeah, we can take piranhas. I like piranhas as a blocker. That's a good call. Maybe we just do that. Get this Prismite out of here and shore up our ground defense. I'm in. Let's do that. Here's a Gauntlets being offered up. We can take the Zephyr Charge, but we're trying to fly without that. I guess we'll take Gauntlets, but I'm hoping not to play this. This is kind of a sad pick 7 here. All right, here's a bow we can grab for the Weaponsmith. Pick 9. So this is our opening pack wheel. Nothing much here. We'll take Blossoming Sands in case we want to try and splash. I can't imagine. I mean, maybe this sets us up to splash a bad reef or something, but I don't think we want that. My problem, Logan, is that in the times where it hurts you, it literally loses you games. Like, it can lose you games to have a cave in your hand, whereas cycling it for 1 mana does not generally win you games. I mean, I like cycling lands when I don't need them. I just think you're not... I think the risk... We disagree about the risk factor. Yeah, we're not playing this Aegis, but I don't think we're playing a Disenchant either. I don't think we're playing anything in this pack. And looks like we get a forced red and been just fine in this one, too. Yeah, it's best of 1. We're not playing a Disenchant best of 1. I don't think. I'll take it in case. I don't think it matters. Hey, here's the Inspired Charge we hope to get back, but also another bow. We'll pick up a second bow, and this starts to be more appealing. But I really want to charge. I really think we need to charge, especially if we're going to hook up these Miscreants in pack 3. I'm going to take charge now. I really want to charge. If we end up with not a second bow, it will be sad, but not devastating. I really think we'll be pretty devastated if we don't have at least 1 charge in this deck. So we'll do that. And we'll try and find ourselves some more bows. This Raptor came late. Planar Cleansing, we'll throw that in the deck. Nice to have it as a backup plan in case of disaster. I would like this Boreal Elemental as well, but Cleansing does things, is the only sweeper in the set. So it's a nice fail-safe. And gems, sure. In fact, let me see how we're doing on the gem front here. Yeah, we only have 3 Planar Cleansings, so we'll go and craft this one. Get a Boreal Elemental number 2 anyway. This Vial might wheel... Oh, there's Pacifism, though. We don't have much in the way of removal yet. Maybe we should Pacify. If I was just drafting for, like, the Pro Tour or whatever, and there was something else good in the pack, I don't think I would take Planar Cleansing, pack 1, pick 1, but I think it was the pick here. But yeah, this is a tough one between Pacifism and Boreal Elemental. We're going to be facing some spiders. I kind of want to be able to do something about spiders we face, so I'm going to take Pacifism here. Right now, we get wrecked by a single spider, and that's no good. And besides, who needs this puny little elemental when you're going to get this one? All right, 4th Miscreant and a Vial that might wheel. And we get a puny one anyway. It's kind of coming up Millhouse here, this pack. Wouldn't mind another Miscreant to really get these going. Cerulean Drake. Unlikely to make a main, but I don't know about a second Raptor. Worst experience with the finance business development guys was over the course of my career. Nothing awful leaps out other than the kind of shoestring startups I've been on where the problem with finance business development was lack of ability to pay my complete paycheck or whatever, but I never really had major disagreements with anybody in charge of the purse strings. Air Elemental must be one of the oldest cards still in routine reprint. Well, you've got, let's see, what are some Alpha All-Stars that we still see? I mean, Fire Elemental is also in the set. So Fire and Air Elemental see reprints. Giant Spider, Giant Growth. Sarah Angel was another one I was thinking of. Those are the big 5, I think. Giant Growth, Giant Spider, Sarah Angel, Fire Elemental, Air Elemental. Oh, Llanowar Elves 6, right? I mentioned Llanowar Elves, so... And Birds of Paradise sees a lot of reprinting still. Haven't, I guess, in a while, but wouldn't put it past him. Anyway. Yeah, thanks. I'll update the info now so we're not confused. People coming in late. There we go. Now that's accurate. Yeah, we can take Drake. Sure wish we ended up with another Eagle. I suppose it's not impossible that one would appear, but unlikely. Let's take our 1 Eagle. And yeah, I'll take the Drake here. I don't know if we'll play it, but we'll take it. Red continues to be just amazing. I think we would take it if we drafted red, we'd just have the nut. I hope you have a quick minimize finger, Motor City Mama. Giant Spider is one of the best designs ever. Shame they don't print it as much anymore. I think it was for its time and place, but it's no longer the anti-flyer card that decks need. I think the big spider, the 3/5 one that's in this set, is kind of your new Giant Spider. I think it's the go-to king of flyer blockers. Yeah, this is rough. We'll take another Piranhas. Late Sprite, but here's a second bow we can grab. I do like the Sprite here. Mammoth Spider is what I was talking about. I think this is your new Giant Spider. Generally, when they would have printed Giant Spider now, I think they're just gonna throw Mammoth Spider in. Yeah, let's get a second bow. It's effectively a third bow with the Weaponsmith. And the Weaponsmith is effectively 2 bows in itself. Another Raptor, and red continues to be super wide. Maybe we play a Convolute, unlikely, but we'll grab it. I don't think we're playing 3 Piranhas if we're playing 2. And nothing matters here. Fortress Crab, we'll probably cut that, but I'll throw it in the main for now, and then we'll go and see about... oh, we definitely should have been blue-red, I think. If we'd taken Golos, we'd probably be in the right colors. A lot of cards, a lot of cuts to make here, and we are going to go and craft up the rare. Do you have any other rares to worry about? I don't think we did much rare drafting this time, for better or for worse. The Eagle. We decided to start down the flyer path with the Eagle. Planar Cleansing is hard to set up, but it's a reset button that is too powerful not to play when you're in white, I think. It's a bit at odds with what we're trying to do in the deck, but it's just so unique in its effect and so powerful in its effect that I think you play it as a failsafe. All right, let's get Crab out. I don't know if we need 2 Raptors, much less 1. Vampire definitely out. Convolute and Befuddle probably don't make this deck. Maybe even the Chaplain doesn't. I think we use Piranhas on the ground over Chaplain. Sea Serpent we can kill. Where does that leave us? 18-8. Tough to make cuts from here. Yeah, if we can cut one of these 2s. It's true we can cast Raptors off the Weaponsmith, but I think the answer is we cut Raptors and the Drake. I mean, these Miscreants, we could cut the Miscreants and, you know, say let's not do the Miscreant plan and, you know, do something like this. This is fine too. Classic 15-8. I don't want to ditch too much on the ground. Shoring up the ground with these dorky Piranhas is a nice way to secure your Air Force. You think it's better with the Miscreants? Yeah, this is a kind of a do-nothing flyer. We're not gaining much life, or we're not gaining life anywhere, so it's really a 2/2 flyer for 3. Well, I wanted to look at it. I wasn't firm on this. I've never played Miscreants before. I've never ended up down this path. Because I don't even think they're that great unless you're doing something like Eagle and making them 2/2s. I just wanted to look at it. So if we put those 4 back and cut these. Well, if we're gonna keep all these fly, we have to. Something's got to give. Right now we're on 17-8. We can give up a couple of we can give up a couple of creatures. We could cut the Angel of Vitality as a pretty do nothing flyer for what's going on here. We could just cut the Cleansing. It's true. I feel like you generally play it because it just does something so powerful. But we could make an argument that, you know what, we're just gonna live or die on our aggro flyers and not worry about resetting the board. Well, we've got Miscreants in and Angel out. What do you like as a final cut, Mike? With 16-8 being our current split here. If I'm playing any fairies, I'm playing all fairies. Some people want to cut 1 fairy. That doesn't seem right to me. Yeah, and yeah, we could cut a God's Willing. Just go a little bit light on responsive. A lot of people want 1 Piranha out. I'm just not quite down with that. We do not have much of a presence on the ground. Mike wants to cut a Golem. Yeah, all right, let's try. No, I'm not doing 16 lands here. Not with an Air Elemental, 2 Boreal Elementals, and a Golem, and a... I mean, I think I'm going to try this first. even though I was saying, like, generally you play your planar cleansing even when it's anti-strategy, but we just need to find a cut. And you want to take out charge and put in cleansing? No, this is more, has a better job to do in our deck than this one. The job of planar cleansing is panic button. This is a panic button, given what we're trying to do. You're never going to see a constructed deck that's running Fairy Miscreants and planar cleansing, right? Because they're just at odds with each other in terms of what they want to do. Oh yeah, we can cut that. So that's, but this has a great job. This is like finish the game, win the cast and win the game. So let's start here. Nolos 2. Because we did not take Golos. And 9 islands is correct for all these miscreants. All right. I've also said I really like blue-white as best of 1 because there's a lot of anti-flying hate out there, but a lot of it stays in the board in best of 1. So I never got into draft view, actually, but it looks like it didn't muck things up too poorly. Well, too bad we have a bow and the weaponsmith, but we're going to keep this. At least that means we get 2 bows. If we set par for this, I'm going to say... I like it. I think we're like 3.5 here. I'm going to go a boisterous 3.5. Variance is too rough for me to be setting pars at 5 and above. Go weaponsmith now. I'll set this so we can decide what we want to do on upkeep. Probably just want to let it go and risk drawing it here. Let's see, if we just untap... There's nothing really to get with the bow anyway, and we don't have anything to cast, so I'm actually going to go ahead and search. If there was something to actually get with the bow, it would make sense to not. Like, to really focus on getting the bow played and equipped and everything, but we actually don't have that need. Kind of just want to go... Winged Words here, although we could play the Heart Piercer bow and then Winged Words next turn. I don't want to lose the flyer and pay extra for the Winged Words, but I think we have time. They already know about the bow. We need to discard? Nah. Go to 5, draw 2. Yeah, let's words. It may give it, like, if the bow doesn't, if they don't do anything where the bow matters, then we're investing a lot of early mana into something that's not advancing our game very effectively. Also, they may put out something here with 2 toughness, and we do have between 4th land and weaponsmith 6 mana towards playing and equipping bows. So if they play something with 2 toughness, we get to play and equip 2 bows. And, like, while we could, doesn't look like there's much of a need to. I'm going to send in the Miscreant, leave... Well, actually, yeah, I'm going to use Weaponsmith mana for casting equipment here. So I'm just going to send in the Miscreant. It might be Bone to Ash. Do you really want to play around that? I mean, if so, I should have attacked with the Weaponsmith. Well, there was no pause there, which supports like Bone to Ash over something like Convolute. Well, all right, if we're worried, I'll just go ahead and spend all my all my mana on non-creatures this turn. Do we care about Bone to Ash? Well, if they are sitting on Bone to Ash and you deny them doing anything on turn 4 while advancing your agenda and denying them the card, then I think it is worth it. Unfortunately, that's not enough to get through there. Yeah, we're really flooding in this one, so it goes. Start chaining together some miscreants and we'll be fine. All right. Waiting for the Elementals theme to really explode here from Oppo. They're now showing more Bone to Ash type mana. We are done with bows. We had exactly 2. Huh. All right. I mean, that's a plan. I generally don't like to use that for damage that's not lethal. But it could be bad news about what they've got in their hand. They may be trying to set up to do that again or something. Yeah, we don't have anything to fetch with the Weaponsmith, unfortunately. And we're flooding, flooding, flooding. Oh boy, flood. My feeling is even if they're doing this again, we're still not dead. So let's attack this turn. And I'm not ready to block yet. We want to find something else. Hopefully we find another flyer. It can do God's Willing double block stuff to take care of that elemental. We're falling way behind on creature quality, and obviously this is not going to help us at all. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4... yeah. 10 lands in 17 cards is not going to get there. RK poking fun at our lack of planar cleansing in the deck that we kept out over a second God's Willing. So this might have been a planar cleansing, in which case we'd be pretty happy with that result. Certainly one data point. Are we doing any blocking here? We kind of have to now. Might have to try Weaponsmith and Piranhas on the Elemental, and potentially chumping the Boreal Elemental up top, but we're not attacking here. I may have to... I don't want to send in this for 1 point of damage when we may need it to chump. Really weird deck. I guess it's just Teamer Elementals. It's just not that weird. It's just weird to not see any red land and a Fire Elemental. Not sure what the splash is here. So now they can take out our Miscreant, but mainly I want to be able to double block the Fire Elemental. And oof. If we let this go, another reason to like try to save the Miscreant right now, I know they can just kill it if they want, but the thing is, if we draw another one, we can try and draw, or at least, I guess if we do that, then they're just going to immolate it in response, so we're never getting our card off of that. It's just trying to decide when we give up the Miscreant to prevent damage. And given the mask, I think it's just here. Let's just do it here. The mask is going to mean that we never get value out of a second Miscreant anyway. I guess we could God's Willing to ensure that we draw a card, but that seems like the wrong use of God's Willing. Maybe I should have saved, but we're like, the other thing is, if they go for killing the piranhas, maybe we save that. No, they didn't want to. All right, and we got a flyer that can actually try and do something eventually. Thing is, if it was on offense, we'd be able to get through the Boreal Elemental. On defense, not as much. Looks like they did not have Bone to Ash, by the way, or we would have seen that countered right there. Obviously, we couldn't play around Bone to Ash, so there was no need even worrying about it. Wish it didn't tap it, because then we could, if it was just pacifism, we could let it resolve and then make the pacifism go away before blocks. Not that we would block anyway, but in this case, we're just gonna give it pro blue now. Or try? Well, you got convolute? No. Hey, look, it lands, we can scry to the bottom. Wow, we're gonna draw another land. Yep, we got pro blue for the block. We had pro blue for the block. Well, at least you get a meme. All right, we are going to draw ourselves a pacifism, shall we? No. We got one chump. And I can play captain. We have to chump there anyway, so let's go ahead and play captain and not load up any bows. Yeah, we're dead to the mask here. But if they kill the, yeah, they kill the sailor to clear the Boreal, and then kill the Boreal, and we're done for. Let's see if they, I'm gonna make him do it though. It's possible they don't see it. Yeah, I guess they didn't see it. I mean, they had lethal right there. Oh, they're doing it with that. Sure, never mind. They did see it. They just saw it. They saw a better line. I didn't see the line they saw, and instead just saw them not seeing the line I saw. Well, we flooded pretty heavily there. Yeah, it was certainly an example case of why you go ahead and run a planar cleansing in an aggro deck anyway. But it doesn't mean our choice to cut it was strictly incorrect. It's just, I don't know exactly the percentages we're playing here, you know. What happens to our win percentage when we do this, you know, against an average deck? Does it go up or down? It's hard to say. It really is. Obviously, we think this makes it go up, or I wouldn't have done it. that was a known result that could happen. It's not like that proved something to us that we didn't know about. Yeah, we were just unlucky. That's the thing. But it's still a... I'm going to keep it as is one more time. But it's not that I went back there to try and change things based on that one result. I went back there because it continues to be a difficult decision I'm not sure we've done correctly, is the bottom line. 2/2 Angel we cut because we have no life gain, so it is literally a 2/2 flyer for 3, which is not awful in our deck, but something had to give. All right, this looks a lot better. We get the mana. Still want another Miscreant. I have never drawn a card off of casting a Fairy Miscreant in my life. In my life, I've never drawn a card from casting a Miscreant, so I'm really hoping to do that sometime this event. Land is just what the doctor ordered here. Perfect now would be a 2-drop of some kind. Weaponsmith. No Weaponsmith. Thank you for the sub, Chesapeake. Question is, do we cast the Eagle here? Seems like it might be obvious to do so, but we have a God's Willing that would protect the Eagle if we just wait. Yeah, they're stuck on 2, though, so we should probably go for it. And, oh, shoot, that's a punt. I didn't mean to click next yet. So we miss a damage here. And hopefully them being at 18/17 doesn't cost us in the end. Totally just meant to cast the Eagle, but kind of twitch-clicked the advance. But don't do, you know, some people would do the shame play of not playing the Eagle. Well, if I don't play the Eagle, I can disguise the fact that I screwed up. Like, don't have that mentality, right? Just get on with it. Well, they didn't show the ability to deal with the Eagle last time. So I'm going to go with... We're going to attack and play Protector, and then if we get a land, we get Captain plus God's Willing. So we'll attack here, and what we're really afraid of, I think, is Murder. And so they need to have Murder and draw a Swamp. If they have Murder and draw a Swamp, we're going to tip the cap, and so be it. Absolutely, Moonsault. And I was talking exactly about that, and decided not to, because Oppo was stuck on 2. It seemed pretty safe to go shields down. All right, here we go. I could play Captain, but we're not going to do that. We are going to play Miscreant and draw a card. This is exciting. Watch this. I've never done this before. Whee! So we could go ahead and Inspiring Captain now, but they did get their second black, so I'm going to play a little cagier now. We're going to hang on to the God's Willing, and we're in a great spot here, so we don't need to rush out the Captain. Yeah, maybe putting him to 2 would be worth it. But I just feel like we can't lose from this position if we hold up God's Willing. That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, there's not really sweepers in this color. We may have been talking about 2 different 100% plays, right? Like, well, we can win the game this way or that way. I'm not sure if there were outs for our opponent in one of those lines that didn't exist in the other. right, we'll run it back. Again, I mean, that was a place where I was much happier to have a God's Willing in my hand than Planar Cleansing that time, you know? Funk Soul Brother right about now? Is that what Fat Boy Slim said? You could go with this, and you could go with that. Draw some cards. I'd rather go Miscreant into Miscreant, but I'll take Miscreant into Winged Words. Hey, look, I'm drawing more cards off Miscreants. With Sailor and God's Willing, we'll hold off on the bow. Also, if you play the bow, it can cause people to not play their 1 toughness stuff. So if we hold on to God's Willing, play the Spectral Sailor, and untap with the bow, we may get him with something. Or not. May have to play Captain out next turn to make sure the Thief has something threatening to block it. Yep. I like Captain here. Fake Eagle for 1 turn. Of course, we're throwing the Captain in front. They could have Blade Brand, they could have all sorts of things, but that we gotta try and kill that Thief. Oh, a little late on a couple of fronts here. But when we charge, effectively we deal 6 with these two, so 11, 10, 9. We're a few turns away, and we're going to have to just let him draw with the Thief. And try and get there. Yeah, they take damage off the attack, but it's not enough to, like, shorten the clock on the Inspired Charge. Because this is Inspired Charge plus this is 6. So unless they damage themselves to get to exactly 6, we haven't increased the clock. But we're still winning. Like, we have God's Willing protecting Inspired Charging Miscreants, so I do feel good about this race anyway. Hey, and another bow gives us a dead Thief, at least. I'm gonna throw one on the other Miscreant, so that if they kill one, well, I mean, we have God's Willing, so we'll save it, but I just like spreading out. Since they're both continuing to attack, might as well spread them out, I think. Not sure if that decision matters all that much, but I was thinking about it, so I thought I'd speak to it. Alright, now we have Inspired Charge Lethal with God's Willing backup. Not with God's Willing backup, because we only have 2 white right now. So, they're dead next turn unless they have a murder, but I think if they had a murder, they probably would have shown it. Although, I think our ideal draw is a Plains, because then I think we can't lose. Except to 2 removal spells that for some reason they have not chosen to play to this point. Be great if they just tapped out for something that didn't kill either of our miscreants or gain them any life. Of course, if it's a spider, that's still a problem for us. Yeah, Vorst Claw would be... That's perfect. You got it, Oppo. Now we still have Disfigure as a possibility, but seems very unlikely. Yeah, Pulse. I was trying to craft my prayers very specifically around the stuff that we didn't want them to play, just like Pulse. But I think if they had Disfigure, they would have used it by now, especially about to attack killing a thief, so I think we're good. And this is a great example of why the Silverback Shaman has fallen in my estimation in this format. This happens too much. Like, you see this dies draw a card thing and get all excited, but often they land, they are not impacting anything in the air, and they're not fast enough to matter on the ground. So I still take and run Shamans. They've just fallen a few notches on my list since the beginning of the format. Maybe I should update my record. It still shows 0-0, even though we've played 3 games now. Is the best green common Rabid Bite now? It's either Rabid Bite or the Mana Dork, the 03 Mana Dork. And I think it always has been. I'm not sure I ever had Gorilla #1 in green commons, but it was a lot more appealing to me at the beginning. No white, but we'll keep this. Got card draw, bow, sure. Yeah, my Twitch title might be vague. I don't know if changing it actually increases my viewer count, but I could. All right, got a plains to round out our colors. That's nice. Let's go piranhas first. Again, no need to show Oppos the bow if you don't need to. Let him play into it first if possible. Like that. We're going to draw cards here over playing the bow because we don't have any attacks yet, and we need to find some land. All right, now we have turn 4, Griffin Protector, turn 5, Heart Piercer Bow with God Willing Protection. Or if we draw land, we can go with an Elemental. We'll see. Do I find myself mulliganing more with the London mulligan? Yes, I do. Not significantly more, but there are edge cases where I've said, well, London pushes me over. Now, I don't know. Maybe I still mulligan that in a world where we're not on the London mulligan, but certainly I have made that justification in my head when choosing to mulligan. I will say that for certain. Let's see. We could just go with Boreal here. We do that. This becomes a 3/4. They have 1 activation, so they have 3 power worth of creatures for our 4 toughness and can't do anything about it. So I'm just going to go Boreal here and attack. And we have the same good attack next turn if we want as well. If we draw a land, we even have it backed up with God's Willing. And this Inspired Charge with all this air support with an eventually dead Drake seems like will win us the game if it doesn't get countered or stripped from our hand somehow. Oh, we were going to kill that. I guess I should have killed it sooner. They got good value out of it, really, given what was going to happen to it. But we'll just drop another Boreal and continue the pressure, and I think advance towards an Inspired Charge victory, question mark? Now we've got the God's Willing up as well. Sure hope they have another Bone Splinters that they try. Nice thing about God's Willing is this is an additional cost, so like if we'd been able to God's Willing the Bone Splinters, they don't, it's not like they don't have to kill the Drake. The Drake is just dead. This is why I like a 3-3 on the ground a lot in the format. There's just a lot of 3-3s, and frankly a lot of 2-2s, where the 3-3s just blank the 2-2s. There's a lot of 2-3s also, the 3-3 blanks. Ah, Weaponsmith, you say. Let's play that. And let's see, we attack. There's no lethal here or anything, but we're still going to keep our attack on. Or they just presume we have 17 bows and they can't win. So, all right. That is a first. I've never had the, well, I guess you're going to overrun me with bows, so I'm done scoop, but okay. Just like that, we're at 4-1, and the people with par 5 or whatever look like closer to true than me. Yeah, maybe they had to use the restroom, which reminds me, I could use a little bio break and I'm out of a beverage, so let me go eliminate one beverage and start adding a second, and I'll be right back. Tried to unmute. Try that again. I said, don't worry, Brian. Sequencing is important in all things. We got there. So now that I'm thinking about it, we passed a third Boreal Elemental to take the Planar Cleansing we're not even playing right now. Certainly would take a third. I'd run a third Boreal Elemental in this deck. Fixed record and banner, isn't it correct? And it's now correct. I had said 4-1, but I was wrong. We are 3-1. We're gonna keep this. We could pacify a skeleton, but there's no need to do it now, and it's probably bad because usually skeleton decks have ways to sacrifice their skeleton as fodder. So generally means pacifism is just not going to be good in the matchup, but we'll see. All right, this is rough. In our aggro flyer deck, not having a second play until turn 5 would be awful, but we're heading towards it right now. Unless we draw action for 4, we're just looking at turn 1 Miscreant, turn 5 Elemental. Yuck. Well, I guess we could pacify the Courser, although the Elemental is soon going to threaten to defeat the Courser. But falling behind the race a little bit. Really want to save this for spiders. They're black-green. I'm gonna take it because we have a sure thing Elemental next turn, and we get to find out whether they attack the Courser into a 3-4 or play a murder. You know, let's figure out whether this Elemental lives before we decide if we have to pacify a generic 3-3. But classic aggro problems, you can't just mulligan things. You can't mulligan every hand that doesn't have a curve out, you know? But so you have to keep stuff like this, but then just a little bit of bad luck on the draws, and you just don't do enough early and fall too far behind. So yeah, this kind of stinks. Where were you? You would have been an excellent play last turn, Winged Words. So Brontodon is, yeah, we're going to play the Elemental as intended, and a lot comes down to whether or not they have something for this Elemental. If they untap, play a land, and murder the Elemental, we're kind of donezo, but if the Elemental holds off the Courser here from even attacking, then we're in great shape. Awkward is Brontodon and Courser and Skeleton all attack, because then it suggests Blade Brand or Cycle of Growth, which I don't think we can beat realistically. Okay, that's perfect, because they're not attacking with the other ones. That suggests either this is extremely tricky, because like one thing you could do is if you had Blade Brand or Pump, you could say, well, attacking with the 1-2 and the 3-3 telegraphs the Blade Brand and Pump. I will just attack with the 3-4, which looks like a free bounce-off attack, and then they'll accept the bounce-off attack, and I get it, and then we get to do it. However, I'm not going to give them credit for that next-level play. I'm going to make this telegraphs that this is just an expected bounce play, and we'll see if they're super clever. I'm going to tip the cap. All right, they didn't have it, but we're kind of in trouble here. I don't think we really have the tools to withstand this onslaught from below. I wanted to pacify the Brontodon, but I guess we pacify the Ceratops, and then they've got to use the Brontodon to unlock the Ceratops at least. And they've shown that they don't have the tools to get through a 3-4. So let's start with the Winged Words, though. And with a 3-4 and a 1-1, We can threaten to trade our Elemental for their Ceratops. Oh, it's Pro Blue. Never mind. Yeah, this Ceratops is going to get us hard if we don't find something else quick. I'm going to keep attacking. No, I'm going to leave the Miscreant back because they didn't show the ability to pump. So threatening 4 damage on blocks is actually good here. I mean, making them have it and being smart in terms of what you're playing around is certainly high-level limited magic. And I don't get it correct all the time, for sure. It's just tough. All right, what's our plan? I guess we need to draw a... very specifically an Inspiring Captain, and then Inspired Charge it to be able to take out the Ceratops. We're dead to the Ceratops in a handful of turns, in 2 turns, if we don't draw some very specific answers for it, which is unlikely. So I think we're taking our second loss here, folks, against this Pro Blue monstrosity. This is the easiest discard ever. I'll give you this.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Flooding out again, not going to help our chances here, and I guess we hold on to... Yeah, I don't think that's correct. I think we'll see this. See how there's a red outline? Like, that makes sense to me, but then it feels like this red outline is being translated onto the on-battlefield card, and it just doesn't fit. Like, it's weird that it extends beyond the card, right? Yeah, charge on the block is the plan, but we need a white creature to execute it. But if we find one, we get there. Like, if we draw a white creature off the top, we can not die. Just has to happen very soon. If I don't have other plays, I drop Fenlurker on 2, no problem. If I have other plays, I tend to wait. Now, we haven't brought in the planer yet. We could talk about it. We could switch to playing a few games with planer. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Now we're gonna chump the Courser. And lose. I don't know if you're being silly. Like... Yeah, well... Not sure we would have won these flooded games anyway, but it certainly didn't help that we had such terrible land spell ratios. But that doesn't tilt me too much. That's just it's the game we signed up for, doing its thing. Oh, I see, Mama. Yes, I thought you were talking about for next time, which is not an insane idea. All right, I'm running it back. Yeah, we got this. 4 straight wins from here incoming. Update the record, though, to our 2 losses. Island, 4 miscreants, and something else. Hard to pass up 2 bows. It controls a lot of creatures, so we're going to keep this. I believe you. I'm not sure. And Lecky, you have to tell me how to pronounce your name, but GG. Yeah, we have a pretty good white blue skies deck, but flooded out a bit there and just couldn't deal with your overwhelming beef on the ground. I'm gonna try and take it out on the next player. Nothing else. I like to disguise the bows if we can, but you're not going to not use mana just because you don't want Oppo to know that you're dropping bows. Besides, we get to drop 2 bows here if we want, although I am going to disguise the double bow. And let's do a winged words here. And that's great, because one of the things I wanted to do was find a creature to play on 4 that's not the captain. And this is actually kind of perfect, because this is much better to have the play captain after this. And now we got Protector into Elemental. Also, I think you could have ghosted me and it wouldn't have made a single bit of difference that game. All right, Elemental into Protector. This could be... Like, did they have 4 up last time? No, because they played Bo. I mean, this could be Bone to Ash, but we're going to do the Make 'em have it thing. Easy game when your opponent really does nothing and you play a bunch of big flyers. That's what was supposed to happen to you. And Lecky, but we couldn't pull it off. Crunchy Kleenex, glad you enjoyed the podcast. It was always fun. It's always fun to go back. You know, Marsh and I, like, it was a great example of what got the podcast started, because frankly, you just whack the play button on Marshall and me and we'll talk for hours and hours about just about anything that comes to mind. So love hanging around chatting with Marsh. All right, missing white, but we have piranhas and eventually air elemental. I can't throw this back. Funny. I'll go with piranhas here. Kind of same philosophy. We'll hide the bow a little bit. Yeah, it could be Gauntlets of Light, and it'd be a pretty good strategy against us. Not like we have a lot of great stuff to do here. We can go bow and surprise sailor, or we can go sailor main phase winged words. I like bow, surprise sailor. We can do wing words next turn. If there were a possibility of playing air elemental next turn, I would play towards that, but there's not. We don't really have anything to do on 4, so this seems fine. Jay asks, do you think Wizards will ever shift the drafting part to some sort of subscription-based scheme where you can play casual limited for a fixed cost? I doubt it, unless they think they can make more money that way. That's the bottom line. If you looked at the current finances and could pitch something to the econ team that you think would increase profits, then you might get some traction, but that's what you'd have to do. All right, we're gonna go for it.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads.
Let's wing words here and look for some land. Miscreant. Not really what we're looking for, but... we'll play it. I mean, our board is still better than theirs, even stuck on 1 color and 3 land. Bye-bye, Sailor. Nothing else to do with this, so we'll throw it up here. All right, a 5th land and our 2nd color, so that's pretty good. Gonna go for an air elemental this turn. There's an argument for waiting. We have God's Willing, and air elemental is a super important threat here. And we could take any land in our deck and be able to go air elemental God's Willing. What do you think? Anybody want to play it super cautious? If they have white-based removal, we can God's Willing after the fact. They don't have double black for a murder, and there's not a lot of commons, cheap spells that do 4. So I think we do it. Outrage. Outrage is a good point. Yeah, sorry, I was wrong about that. Outrage. So we'd be playing around Outrage really, or Reduce. And they are heavy red. And we're not under pressure. So I'm going to play it KG. Let's see if we can get another land and protect this very important threat of ours. All right, we get to protect it. And they still didn't do anything. Like, I don't know what's going on over there, which is another reason to want to protect it. Like, what may happen here is that we protect it once and then they untap and kill it anyway. Because they're not doing anything, which tends to suggest removal that they're not willing to use on anything you've done so far. But hopefully they only have 1 piece. And the God's Willing makes them pay for trying to kill our elemental. But they didn't try it there, so probably not an outrage. Okay, I think we know what we're doing with our pacifism. Hopefully we draw another planes so that we can have outrage, God's Willing and pacifism on the same turn, and turn on the inspired shard. So actually I would love a planes here. Hey, just what the doctor ordered. Thank you, Shuffler. Just to poke the bear. What you gonna do about it, Dracuseth? Why are you hitting yourself, Dracuseth? Oppo Snap disenchants the pacifism and wrecks us. That would be so justice. Wow. Flying Vigilance. Top 6 cards. Reveal an angel card, demon card, or dragon card. Put them into your hand. Wow. They've actually got the combo. Hopefully they don't have any other dragons and stuff to find. What? What just happened? Cap tipped. Nice job, Skyro. What can you do about that? My God. Funny. Well, I set par at 3.5, so winning 4 would be right about where I was hoping for, or expecting. We can still get there. It's just, yeah, not with that, though. That's not helping us get there. I'm going to attack, and we'll Inspired Charge to take out Kalia if need be. Thing is, they can play something that trades with the air elemental next turn, and we don't really have any more removal for that. Like, we need a meteor golem would be good. No, they hit dragon and herald, but the fact that they even have 3 targets in the deck at all is pretty cool, much less that they hit 2 off off of the seeker. All right, so they're going with dragon first. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What else are they playing then? They must be coming up with a second play, or else you just play the 4/4 that can actually trade with the air elemental. Well, there you go. Now we're in the serious trouble, and unlikely to win this one. And whenever that happens, that's when we draw tons of land. Just for kicks, we'll throw this here. I don't know how we win this one, honestly. Let's see. How can we get there from here? We go Boreal Elemental, and Eagle. That could at least get us... Boreal Elemental plus Eagle gives us something that can get above the Herald size, but now they're going to start making the dragon big, and I think we're just at the end of our rope on this one. I think if we cast Grass Allergy, it would mean that they could not attack us if we controlled planes, right? And all their creatures die if they control planes. Blah. Waiting to die. Or it could be, how about... Allergy is an aura you put on a creature, and when that creature attacks, it takes 1 damage for each planes defending player controls. God's Willing is your creature. They have correctly surmised that there's no haste in my deck, and that this is a fine attack. Wow, losing to the double Yoke Dock decks kind of stinks, but you can understand what they're up to here with Yoke Docks. Is they're just trying to not lose on the ground so that their powerful angels and dragons can take over the game. Would still love to have a different card doing this job, but there's no question that the Ox is doing a job for Oppo in the deck. And we have no idea what their options were, so... certainly they're going to get us. We can chump the dragon and live for a turn here, I suppose. I don't know how we think we're winning, though. I guess we... chump God's Willing, find Meteor Golem, kill the Rapacious Dragon, chump here, find... I don't know. It's like, we're on the edge of being able to craft some kind of scenario where coming back is realistic, but Also, this is our second God's Willing, and it would certainly be what the Planar Cleansing would be. So, I don't know. I think it was maybe a mistake in the end not to play the Planar Cleansing. God's Willing has been good in some places, but it's been great in some places. But we've had multiple places in this event where a Planar Cleansing would have been a big game for us. So, just thinking about that. But we'll go here, block. We could also go Miscreant into Miscreant into Miscreant to create a bunch of chumps that let us find the stuff we need. So that is a way out as well. Our chances are extremely remote, but we are taking every opportunity we have here to find a line to victory, as slim as that line is. And we are going red here on the pro. Binning the flood plains. Ah, close. We just needed Miscreants before this. We need to go Miscreant, Miscreant, Elemental, and then we would have a chance. We're dead, though. So, we tried. Some rough cards in Oppo's deck, but some amazing ones, too, and the amazing ones got us. Alright. Well, I'm going to claim this here prize. Be a little bit meh about it, but what are you going to do? Magic is magic. I did clear par, so hard to suggest we were too off the rails there when we cleared par. Oh, let's go to packs. Agent of Treachery. All right, well, we got about an hour, although I may quit out early today. Again, I'm meeting a friend for lunch, and I may try to get a jump on that. But an hour is an hour. Let's see what we're going to do with that. First, I'll say thank you to YouTube viewers for watching that event. We're going to figure out what to do next, so look for another video. We'll see you next time.